Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I'm here to talk about and review X-Men First Class. X-Men First Class is a 2011 film that is directed by Matthew Vaughn. Let's be honest, the X-Men franchise at this point was on its deathbed. It was on life support. It was damn near dead because the previous two movies were just not very good. Fans were losing hope until they made a movie with an actual good plot and actual great characters that brought the franchise back on track. You see Magneto, a young Magneto, who at the very beginning we see him in the concentration camp, him older, basically seeking out vengeance in order to kill the Nazi responsible for killing his mother, his family. And if that's not enough, you also have him meeting Charles Xavier. And Charles Xavier is also creating the school, and that's where we see the first class of mutants. This movie is great. It is. It's phenomenal. There's so much good to be had while watching it. And what I take away the most from First Class is Magneto, is Michael Fassbender as Magneto. Such a great performance. I almost wish we got just a Magneto story. Originally, that's what they were going to do. They were just going to make an X-Men Origins Magneto movie, but somewhere along the way, they merged that with a script for X-Men First Class, and it makes sense. It does. We probably did get the best of both worlds. I love how the movie starts with almost shot for shot that same scene from X-Men 1, where you see this kid who is young Magneto and his parents are being taken away by Nazis. They're being brought to the concentration camp. He uses his powers, maybe for the first time, to bring down the gate. And we get an extension of him meeting Kevin Bacon as a Nazi, kind of creepy. And just that exchange, that opening scene between these two characters and him threatening to kill his mother if he doesn't move the coin, and just all of the stuff that is hard to watch. Just the tone of this, it works. It absolutely works. I love the jump where you see Fassbender, who I swear this was like an audition for him to play James Bond someday, one day. Like, he comes off that well, especially in the 60s, in this time period where the 60s just almost is perfect for these characters somehow, some way. The time, the music, the clothes, everything. And to see Magneto on his mission, going off to attack as many former Nazis as he can. That one bar scene where he just attacks those guys with the knife and he's using his powers and shoots them with the gun. Like, it's amazing. I can rewatch just those moments and those scenes over and over again. I mentioned that Kevin Bacon is the villain. He plays Sebastian Shaw, and it's interesting to see him at the beginning and then the jump of him years later, where he seemingly, I don't know if he took powers from different mutants and turned himself into a mutant, because he's much younger looking, he's much just healthier looking, and he has these group of mutants for himself. Azazel is one of them, who's maybe sort of the father of Nightcrawler, I don't know, but to see how they use his powers throughout the film is very cool. Emma Frost is played by January Jones, and I know I cracked on them using Emma Frost in X-Men Origins Wolverine, and I still feel that way. I will say this, Emma Frost, they give her more to do. She has more of a place, and the effects of her skin turning into more, not diamonds, but more of a glass-like effect, I think that looks even better. The problem is January Jones. She's horrible. Absolutely horrible. I can't say I've ever seen her on anything else really. Like Mad Men, I've never watched that, so I don't know. Somebody tell me, if you've watched Mad Men, is she any better on a show like that? Because I just watched this and she's lifeless. There's nothing there. I swear, you can't get her to blink. There's just no emotion behind any of the words that she's saying. And I think even the way Emma Frost is written, she says, like, the dialogue itself is good. I can see a better actress making this all work and sounding better. Some of the best parts of the movie is Fassbender and Charles Xavier. Their friendship is so great to watch, so fun to watch. James McAvoy as Charles Xavier. I love seeing Xavier younger. I love seeing him almost going around and using his powers to pick up women at the bar, just being more eccentric and more full of himself. I do. I like that, but he's not like an asshole. He's not too over the top. He's still, when he meets Rose Byrne, he still wants to help her with what she's trying to do. Rose Byrne as Moira MacTaggert is great, by the way. And the relationship that Xavier has with Mystique is something that, where did that come from? Definitely not referenced in the original trilogy, but I do like the idea of them growing up together, him taking her in and just taking care of her. They kind of sort of have a brother-sister relationship, but they might hint that there's more there. Speaking of Mystique, she's played by Jennifer Lawrence, which this is like the first movie that I came to know Jennifer Lawrence in. The first movie where I was like, oh, who's that? And she has a little thing going on with Beast, aka Hank McCoy, played by Nicholas Hoult. And I liked seeing Hank McCoy, especially this is the first movie where we at least got to get to know the character a little more, seeing his original mutation with the big feet, and he's fast running around, but he uses Mystique's DNA to accidentally turn him into the big furry blue beast character that we know. Now, him as a beast doesn't look as good, admittedly, as Kelsey Grammer in X-Men 3. That's something actually positive I could say about X-Men 3, is the Beast makeup looked better, but still it was cool to see Beast. It was cool to see the moments where he does Beast out. It was also great to see Xavier and Magneto just go out there and find prospects who, like Angel, played by Zoe Kravitz, like Banshee, or like Havoc, Lucas Till. I like his character. I like seeing the younger generation and them at the school and them just being shown how to use their powers. I cannot go without mentioning the Wolverine cameo. It's so good. During the montage where they're going to round up mutants, they see Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, at the bar, and I love the exchange. I love that he never even turns around, doesn't give them the time of day, just tells them to go fuck themselves. It's so good. The very end of the movie where they end up on that beach, and first Magneto lifting up the submarine with his powers. Even the scene earlier where Xavier is able to get Magneto to train and hone in his powers and move that satellite. I love that. But then seeing everything break down, seeing Magneto go down his path of, you could say evil, but he believes he's in the right. He thinks in some ways you do understand that, yeah, humans are never going to fully accept mutants. It's always going to be a war and battle, and the Cuban Missile Crisis, them being shot with missiles, and Magneto using those powers. And then Xavier, I was shocked to see Xavier get shot in the back, get paralyzed. I really enjoyed this film. I think it was a breath of fresh air to the franchise. It was much needed. It was refreshing to see somebody, anybody, care about these characters, care about what you can do with the characters. And this is the type of X-Men film that we deserved. I was glad to get it. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think of X-Men First Class? Do you like it as well? I know some people have it as their favorite X-Men movie. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!